Hi, BiFFs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Exert
you.
power.
Love you like I
Or
love
more
you.
wine.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff. Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is Ill-advised.
Hi, BiFFs.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to Ill-advised.
The podcast where two best friends, these two best friends, tell you what to do when someone else already has. I don't know why I had to add that.
Like your boyfriends.
And not your boyfriend's friend?
Ooh, okay.
Fuck that bitch.
I can rock with it.
Yeah, all right, good.
Why fuck that bitch if she or they haven't told you what to do?
All right.
You meant fuck that bitch as in your boyfriend.
Well, I was thinking like fuck that bitch if they're telling you what to do, but now that I think about it, it doesn't make sense.
This is why we love to think.
This is why we think before we talk.
No, nobody does that.
No, it's underrated.
We just love to think after.
Imagine if people thought
Shoot
before they
first.
spoke.
Then ask questions.
Oh, then ask questions.
Beth, we're about to skip right to the wine, okay? I can't do a whole episode like this. I'm drinking.
Yeah, we're drinking. Let's just do the wine, shall we? We'll do the wellness check after.
We shall.
Let's just do it. Okay, we're drinking a Voga Prosecco DOC, which of course we know it's. Hold on, ready? We've done enough of these, right? That I should know. Dominazione. Oh. Controllata. Let's see, am I right? What is it? Great. Of course, the first fucking one that doesn't have it written down. So we're just going to say I'm right. Thoughts?
Should I Google it real quick?
No, fuck that shit. They should know better. They should know they should be on a podcast.
I just liked your O.
They're award winning.
I know. They are. We've admittedly
Tried this,
had this
last
one before.
episode, but you guys don't know because Rachel had a different one.
Yeah, but also I think you did briefly mention, because I remember talking about the pretty bottle.
Oh, we totally talked about it, but I edited it out.
Oh. Then you
So
guys
we can have this
don't
again.
know.
Sorry for cheating you.
Then I take that all back.
Oh,
Let's try this.
let's try it. There's actually nothing in here in terms of a description. It's just a Prosecco. And
I mean, when it says award-winning wine,
what else do
right
you
on
need?
the label, exactly.
But to cheers with your best
We're
friend.
not describing shit.
Nope.
We don't need to. We win.
We win. We won.
We whine.
We won and whine. This is wonderful. So for those of us who follow us regularly, we had their...
Yeah, those of us who follow
Yeah,
us.
for those of us who follow us too. We had their Pinot Grigio a few episodes ago, and when I saw that they had a sparkling wine or a Prosecco, I had to get it because we loved the Pinot Grigio. And this is like a sparkling Pinot Grigio. It's delicious.
It really is.
It's perfect.
I do love it.
I do enjoy it. I would take this to a winery
Especially...
and be like, you don't make this. Can we just
Can
be
we
here?
just have glasses for this bottle? We'll buy the cheese and cracker board, though.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We'll bring a blanket too. so you don't have to bust out your hospital paper.
Also, we'll be off of the property, so we don't have to pay anything.
We're literally across the road in the woods.
We're just drinking wine near a winery.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's what you do at a winery.
right. No one goes there for the wine. You don't go with local wine.
You don't go for the wine. You just go to get drunk in public.
Right. You can just say, I went to a winery.
Yeah.
Or a winery.
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever. How you doing, Beth?
I am doing... I blew up therapy and haven't called back.
That's a dynamic factor though, right? Like there was just
Yes.
this one wasn't for you.
Right, but I'm dreading that conversation.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not. I wonder if therapists just, not that I'm saying ghost them, but I'm wondering if therapists like
Feel the
are
same.
used to that. Well, that's another one too. Why wouldn't we think that maybe we would be,
Therapists are like, great.
or that they're human?
Right.
Like that's it.
That they don't still
That
get to
they're
be
human.
like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Betty's coming.
Like I bitch about my job. Why don't you bitch about yours?
Because
Or
it's
why wouldn't
illegal,
you rather?
too.
That's very true. That's
No,
very
I'm just
true.
kidding. I agree with you.
But you know what? I bet
agree.
you'd be hard pressed to find a therapist that hasn't spoken to one person about details in their sessions.
Absolutely.
But I mean, like, how else do you
They
deal
can't.
being
I
a
was gonna
human?
say. I was gonna say they wouldn't be able to be human
Right.
without being like, oh my god.
So what are you thinking in respect to you in terms of having this conversation? You gonna ride it out, or you gonna ghost him? You gonna cold turkey her?
Honestly, I think I thought about going around her and calling the
practice.
the practice and just asking for someone else.
Someone with a little bit more
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah, not even depth, just like I need an old person.
Well, that was French for experience.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So I don't want to have that conversation with her. I just don't. I don't want to be
wonder-
like, look, you're cool. We'd be friends in real life. But
Oh my
but if just chatting with my best friend
I'd asked you for advice at a
was
bar.
enough, right, then I wouldn't need therapy.
Right.
So I think I'm just gonna call the place and be like, hey, she's super great. I just
She's not for me.
I just don't feel it's a fit. So if there's someone else, and then they can do my dirty work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what they're there for. I don't know that there's no right approach. But I think that your approach is better than like, see ya.
Just ciao.
Yeah.
Like I thought about. Last week I was like, I ain't fucking going. And then I was like, oh my god, I can't do
I
this.
can't do this. Oh my God.
Anyways, how you doing?
I have therapy tomorrow.
Great.
And I need it.
Oh,
I'm doing so good, Beth. So good.
which one was sarcasm?
All of it.
Okay. Great.
Let's see. My
Glad
mental
we're still
health.
friends.
My mental health on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being not great. We're at a good 3 right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I just got laid off. Yeah. And so I'm trying to figure out, there's just so much.
So much.
There's so much around this topic and my career in general and the timing of it. There's just a lot to unpack here. So I'm looking for more work, and that's okay. Things are going to be okay. But
Absolutely.
of course,
But in the meantime, right.
you know, your mind goes where it goes, and it's just whatever.
Yeah, no, I admittedly been not concerned, just you've been on my mind with how you're dealing and processing, and obviously I know you, and
I have been dealing with food the best way I know how.
fuck.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
I'm coming over way more often.
I'm so sorry I didn't tell you. But I've been cooking for days.
Good
and
grief.
eating and enjoying it, and like, you know, it's all catharsis. I'll be back on track. I made a conscious decision to be back on track next week in terms of my personal goals and my fitness, because I do
Right.
need something to propel me and keep me motivated.
Of course, yeah.
So, and I know that's how I work best. I'm not
Right.
saying this is for everyone. So I'll be okay. Everything will work out the way it's supposed to, because I believe, and I know you don't, but I believe you need more justification than I do, that everything happens for a reason.
I love it. I love that for you.
It's working for me right now.
You've come a ways from like the world's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's ending.
I know. And even Colin's like, are you okay? Is everything fine? I'm like, I'm okay. Like,
Yeah, I think we're
please trust me.
anticipating.
I'm fine. Yeah. I was anticipating this. I just wasn't anticipating it now, you know?
Yeah,
And I
that's
just wasn't
fair.
prepared for that. But, you know, and I was also like updating my resume and getting ready for more work and all of that stuff. So, but there are a lot of things on the horizon for me. You know, I have credentials, I have, you know, my education, my well-being, my health, my family, my son, my best friend, my partner, and which all fall under
Am
family.
I your best friend and partner?
Yes.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Haha, pollen.
And, you know, things will work out the way they're supposed to. And that's, I really believe that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
Beth.
to that.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
And
that.
also that makes me worry less.
Does it?
I mean, I'm still going to be like, oh my God, is Biff okay?
See, now I would think
But
if it were you, I'd worry more. I'd be like, who is this bitch?
Well, I just know, I guess in general, I just know the work you've been putting in personally.
That's true. That's true. It's been a big focus for me.
Yeah.
To just be a better human. Not so much like, yes, there are the areas I'm working in on myself and my reactions and the way that I perceive things and the way that I move forward and yada, yada, yada. But a lot in general, I want to be just a better person. I don't want to think the worst of people. I don't want to treat people in a certain way based on a reaction. Like, I'm learning about me and what makes me tick.
So I think that combined with like your, whether I'm good or not in this very moment, I know things are going to be okay. I think that was like, okay, I don't have to stress every hour. Like, is Biff really okay? Is he pretending?
Yeah.
Is he being...
Yeah, I can't answer that one.
Not like dismissive, but like, oh yeah, I'm fine.
Like pushing it off,
yeah,
like brushing it off.
Right. Like, I'm not telling because I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm checked out.
Yeah, I also can't tell you that that's not what's happening. Because I think about it a lot where I'm just like...
Oh, I'm sure.
Am I just not... Am I still in shock? But you know what I mean?
All of it.
You know when you're in shock and it's kind of just like you don't know what you're feeling or how you're reacting or if anything's genuine. You're
like convincing yourself like things are going to be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Things are fine, but am I just doing that because I'm not allowing myself to feel what I need to feel?
Fair question.
Do you know what I mean?
And I'm back to worrying about you.
Well, no, but like, I think about it in a way where it's just like, my real reaction to all of this is everything will work out because it always does. And I really believe that. Any
believing it and feeling it in the moment are different. Yeah, I got that.
And anything that I faced, I have overcome. That's how I got where I am right now.
Absolutely.
So you know what? This is just part of the show. It's just part of the show. It's the part that fucking gets more audience. You know?
So, my circus.
Hello, monkeys.
Exactly, yes.
Let's just get into this shit, shall we?
Speaking of monkeys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, where did the monkeys... Sorry, I'm not following.
We have a new circus.
Okay. Yes, go on.
Yeah, so this week we have somebody new. This is Aaron Carr, I believe. Khar.
As in let me drive one?
Yes. Just different spelling.
I really didn't need that clarification.
This is askaaron.com.
Nice.
And this week's question is a doozy.
I like doozies.
That's what Aaron called it.
Uh-oh.
A doozy. She said, buckle up. This is from May 24th, 2022. And it is called, My Husband Slept with My Mom. And it gets worse.
Hold on. How much worse can it get?
Aaron said, buckle up.
Oh, right.
And literally called it a doozy.
I'm just going to have to... Hold on.
Buckle up, BF.
If I take my belt off of my waist and put it around the chair, is that buckling up?
If that fits you, I'm going to go jump off a cliff.
If we got into a head-on collision right now...
I'm just going to jump off a cliff if that fits you.
Okay, let's do it.
Hi, Aaron. This is a complete and utter nightmare. I am dealing with a situation that I am unsure I can even put into words. In fact, I don't even want to speak these words, but I feel I'm being forced to because it's being put into my face. I have been married since 2005, and my husband and I have 4 children. He has a daughter from a previous marriage who just turned 27. We have had issues with our relationship for years. He slept with my mother in 2009 when I was pregnant with our son. I didn't find out about the affair, or at least I didn't get confirmation until 2 or 3 years after. My intuition and my 2-year-old daughter's dream were proven right when I found out from my husband that, yes, he did sleep with my mother. I was absolutely destroyed when I realized that the 2 people I thought loved me the most were the ones who chose to take my life from me. However, I got myself together, went to therapy, and started taking medication to help with the depression and anxiety.
Good job.
The psychologist told me that it would be best to move on because someone that made a decision to hurt me like that would most likely do it again. I knew that, but somehow we ended up back together because my husband is a manipulative, narcissist weirdo.
He's a man.
To be honest. And I'm a very forgiving and caring person. So I do blame myself for not thinking straight and being fooled by emotions and lies. And honestly, I hate myself because I feel like I care about people too much. I don't want to be a vulnerable and weak or dependent person at all. My husband has slept with 2 other women that I know of since my mother, including my good friend. She never told me what happened. I know this only because my husband told me 3 years after it happened. I have no trust in him, and we have a love-hate relationship. However, we get along pretty good, even though we've lived in the same house for years without much intimacy at all. I am now in a very bad situation where I'm far away from my family and dependent on him for security, but I will take sleeping on the ground over the things I've had to think about in the past 2 weeks. I don't want to say this because the thought of this is worse than that of him sleeping with my mom, but I suspect he and his 27-year-old daughter have had sexual relations.
I'm sorry. Say that last part one more time. Did I hear that right? Can you please?
I can't do it, Beth.
You need to, BiFF. His 27-year-old daughter
have had sexual relations.
I did hear that right.
You did.
Okay.
She suspects. She is a heroin addict and has told me she enjoys seeing people suffer. I am completely opposite and could never hurt anyone, especially those I love. She has also slept with her own mother, so it's hard for me to say that this is an impossible and sick thing that I've come up with in my own mind.
Is that the end of it?
No.
Okay.
Recently, I've woken up to my husband having sex with me. Now I'm having issues and have reason to think I have an STD. I haven't slept with anyone, and I know 100% that it would have come from him if I did test positive.
Whoa. She woke up to him having sex with her?
Yes. But every minute feels like forever without knowing. I know for sure that my stepdaughter has herpes and probably other sexually transmitted diseases because she sleeps with a lot of different men who aren't clean and has been doing that for years. So most likely, based on my intuition, the hints that my stepdaughter has given me, the energy and reactions that my husband have given me, and the symptoms of an STD that I am experiencing, they have done something, and I just don't know where even to begin to fix all of this. I'm just wondering if there is someone I can talk to so I can get these horrible thoughts out and maybe get some input on the whole situation. I've been keeping records of things that stand out as suspicious, and the conversations I've had with my husband have been recorded also. What can be done legally in a situation like this? What kind of help is available for me? And what should I be focused on right now as I navigate myself and my children out of this hell? I am a strong and resilient woman, and I will not give up because I have these 4 beautiful children who need me, but I feel so scared and alone, and a lot of the time I feel like I'm losing my mind. I know for sure I will need therapy, even if this is not true, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get myself better so I can be the best mother to my children because I know they deserve that, and so do I. If you have any input on all of this, I would greatly appreciate any response. Thank you for listening, and I wish you well. Holy fucking shit.
Huh? Well, that's like a fucking whole emotional dump. That's literally you asking me to settle this in one therapy session. It's a lot to ask of somebody listening to this.
Literally in one sitting.
Holy shit. There was a question in there that I kind of need to address right away because I just don't know. And it's like, what are the legalities of all of this? In terms of what?
Right.
Is it the legalities in terms of the cheating? Because you already won. What are you looking for? Are you looking for it from the part of your relationship or the part of the incestual?
Right.
I slept with my mom and my dad. Like,
maybe
didn't do it together at the same time.
Maybe she's curious about like if I go to court for custody or these types of things. Like how do I, maybe that type of legality because
it's hard.
You can't arrest, the husband hasn't legally, right. Although incest is illegal in many states.
Yeah, I just don't know what the context of that is. Like, is it illegal
Although she is,
you have to prove it too.
But she's also an adult, 24.
Yeah, she's consenting, or 27,
but
something
does that
like that.
still matter with incest? Like, is incest?
That's why I don't want to
crime?
touch that. I don't know. I think that might work for you in terms of custody. That might help you. You know what I mean?
But
to
not
use
if you
that
don't have
information.
proof.
I know. That's so hard.
Then the judge is just going to be like, are you a crazy bitch? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you just a bitter,
You're just looking, or
crazy?
you're just interjecting.
He banged your mom,
Which
and now
also,
he's banging his own daughter. Like
that we're in a culture where we don't believe women still pisses me off. And that's a huge thing. I don't feel like we have enough information to tackle it from that area.
From the
like,
legal
please
aspect,
consult
for sure,
your attorney for that.
for sure. We don't.
Please. Because there's got to be something there that works in your favor. In terms of like advice on how to handle this, like continue going to therapy. But, so let me ask you, Biff, is a therapist allowed to tell you what to do? My experience with therapy is that there's always like suggestions and guidance on coming to your own conclusions.
I was just going to say, I think their goal is for you to reach your own conclusion.
Because that's when you're more receptive to it, right? It makes more sense to me.
For sure. Also, when I was dealing with certain situations, when I was in therapy, she didn't give me like legal advice and that type of thing. But she did say, like, from my experience, this is kind of what happens in this situation from like a legal perspective. Or, you know, when I had to deal with something similar, you know, this is kind of what happened.
Yeah, so I understand that, but like coming out, like the beginning of the question, and I wish I could recount because you literally just word vomited on me.
That was a
lot, but it was also a lot of information. In the beginning, you had mentioned something where it was like, my therapist said this, and that, to like leave him because he's hurting me or willing.
In the question?
Yeah.
The psychologist told me that it would be best to move on because someone that made a decision to hurt me like that would most likely do it again.
Yeah. Are therapists allowed to give that like direct information? Or does it, I mean, it depends on their credentials too, right? Are they a therapist, a psychologist, a psychotherapist? No,
but my therapist told me that, you know, the situation I was in, there was a 90% chance that the specific situation that I had dealt with would continue to happen.
But see, like I would take the statistic approach of it as a therapist myself, rather than tell you to just move on. You know what I mean? Like if I can show you that I know what the statistic is and it's been shown in studies, then I'm covering myself legally. But as a therapist, and I know I'm off the beaten trail here. Like a therapist isn't going to say like, yeah, you should leave him. Right. So maybe her perception was a therapist would probably be like 90% of people in your situation. 90% of chance that this is going to continue to happen. Right. Which sounds like, honey. Right. Leave. That's the smart way to say it. Right. Okay. Right. But I'm sorry. That was the first thing that it was like, I don't know if you heard me, but I was like, I've never heard of a therapist in the capacity of a therapist, not a psychologist or a psychotherapist, that says. It also depends on your credentials, dynamic with them. Oh, that's true. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's so much to unpack here. Think of it as if it was me telling you all these things. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. And I'm literally saying to this person. First of all, legally, I don't know what the fuck you can do. Right. However. Right. Let's like legalities aside. Yeah. My instinct is to tell you, like, you just don't trust this dude, period. I think your therapist, in my opinion, is right. It's time to cut ties. Take care of you and your kids. Stop taking care of your emotions based on him. Take care of your emotions to heal. It's time for you to take care of your emotions to heal. I agree, but I don't love that. I don't love it either. But there is so much to unpack here. Obviously. You know what I mean? No. If that was your response to me, I probably would have punched you. No, what I'm saying is... like, no shit, Biff. Well, okay, so if someone told you, my husband had sex with his daughter who had sex with his mom, like, what are you supposed to say? Like, to me, the only reason I'm saying, like, it's time for you to take care of you and move forward, like, obviously I know it's time for you to move on. Obviously I know it's time for you to move on. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to make an effort to move on unless you make an effort to move on.
I know, but there's so much more than just okay, now it's time to move on.
I agree with you. But it's not on someone to give you their advice to tell you to move on. You have to make that decision. Whether you're going to hear somebody's advice or not, you have to make that decision.
Right.
All we can do when we're giving advice is to give you our thoughts and our opinions.
Right.
Statistically speaking, not that I know exactly what the statistics are, but I'm willing to bet
your therapist is right.
Your therapist was right.
This is going to continue.
This is literally going to be a revolving circle, which has proven to be true as far as I'm hearing. Actually, I lied. It's gotten worse.
Right.
It's gotten worse.
Right, because one, you have proof that he slept with your mom, and the other one, you don't have proof yet, but... Right. I wouldn't say you're way far off track.
I would look at you and just be like, it doesn't matter to me that like you want to punch me in that respect. What I would say to you is like, you didn't trust him from that moment. You haven't had any intimacy or limited intimacy.
Right.
Because you're not where he is or where he wants to be. Like your relationship is over as far as you are concerned emotionally. There is another respect. There's another emotional tether there holding you to it. The emotional part of your relationship seems to have deteriorated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there is an emotional tie there. I would never deny that. You love who you love, and that's just it. You know what I mean?
Right, regardless.
That's like that. It is what it is. And you can still love him. But you can love him without being with him. And you need to take care of you, and you need to take care of your kids. I don't know what the legalities are, and I don't know what the psychological approach is. But if I were in your position and I was looking at it from the outside, I would say, I don't trust him. I love him, but I don't trust him. And to me, that's not enough.
Right.
I need love. I need trust. I need emotional connection. I need intimacy.
I think I need to trust you to love you.
Period.
I can't love you if I don't trust you.
There's love and being in love with a person. I can love you, but I can't be in love with you if I don't trust you. Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure.
So this is hard. There's too many facets. I've been keeping
records of things that stand out as suspicious, and the conversation I've had with my husband have been recorded also.
And
what should I be focused on right now as I navigate myself and my children out of this hell? So I think...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We're giving different...
I was too much.
I was with you.
Okay.
I was with you. Like...
Thank you for saying that.
No, yeah.
I was so... Because there was so much to unpack.
There really is.
My heart hurts.
There really is.
I don't know.
I was with you.
So what do I do?
How do I... Well, she asked what kind of help is available, like legally, and what should I be focused on right now as I navigate myself and my children out of this hell?
We're looking at somebody who is trying to make a conscious decision to better themselves, but is also like held back.
Aware
there's
that
there's an
this
anchor.
Is damaging me. I'm feeling very damaged. However, I want to continue moving forward. She did ask the legal question, but we addressed that. We don't know.
We don't know.
But on the other part of the question, she specifically said...
Well, she did ask about legal resources. And I would say,
what kind of help is available for me?
Yeah, if you don't have...
What can be done legally in a situation like this? What kind of help is available for me?
There is always a public or a free type of legal aid thing. Please look into that in your area, because we are not... we're barely qualified to give you the advice we're giving you.
Right. I can give you a personal perspective of legalities, but I can't fucking tell you...
Right. Also, Shorty just arrived. If you can hear her in the background, we have an audience today.
Yay.
We're having lunch together.
Question for us.
She has a special
So that's
question.
why she's here.
Yes.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. It's hard to...
It's hard because there is a legal aspect to this. So as a best friend, we can't just be like, girl, bye.
That's illegal, or you can do this or you can do that.
No, but we can't just be like, pack up your shit and go. Because there's
But it sounds like
There's legal aspects of it.
she's there.
She's trying. She's recording conversations with him. She said that I've been keeping records of things that stand out as suspicious. She's literally actively looking for, legal help, guidance, whatever it is. And what should I be focused on right now as I navigate myself and my children out of this hell?
Be focused on you and your children. Be focused on where you're going to live, what support systems. Actually, that's the first one. Focus on the support systems that you have.
If you need to tuck tail and run right now, that's all you need to focus on.
And find out who's going to be able to help you to do that.
Just if your tuck tail and run.
Well, I think
that's A, though. That's A.
You think so?
Just the fact that I can leave and am going to leave, that's number one.
Well, I would,
and then call your mom, call your auntie, call your cousins, call your sister, call whoever you need to call. Leave.
I only disagree from the perspective of I'm not just taking care of
children are resilient.
Well, if
I need to leave a wild, abusive, toxic, disgusting relationship and I finally have the balls to do that, fucking run.
Yeah, I agree.
And then
But where are you going?
Who cares? Women's shelters, family members.
Well, I think that's what I mean. Like, what are your resources? What do you have available to you so that you have somewhere to go? You don't want to run out of also, I'm not saying stay in a place for the sake of a relationship, for the sake of your children. I want to make that very clear. I'm not telling you to
of course,
hang out because it's better for all of you. But I'm saying if you're just going to duck and run.
If me and my daughter have to sleep in a car.
You know what I mean? That's different. That's a sort of shelter. My assumption here is there's nothing because I don't know. Only because I don't know. Does that make sense? I have no context.
Yeah,
I just don't know where you're going.
My assumption.
Well, it wouldn't be my assumption if I was talking to you because I know.
Right. But I feel like they may have mentioned I don't have a vehicle. I don't have support. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I feel like maybe, but are they banking on get in your car and sleep in it? Would you write to an advice columnist thinking that? They're going to tell me to sleep in my car?
No, but my advice as if I was in your life and knew the details of your life and your relationship and the person that you've been dealing with for years, I'm going to tell you to fucking run.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you need me to come pick you and the kids up?
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. But also,
but just as a mother, especially as a mother who's been in a toxic relationship, I'm running long before I'm figuring out where I'm landing.
That's so different because not every mother who's in a toxic relationship is okay with finding a way. Mothers who are
when we get to the point where we're ready to leave, yes, the fuck we are.
No, they're not, because my mother wasn't.
Was she ready to leave?
She wasn't ready to leave. She made him leave. She found a way for him to go.
Okay,
and
we can't always do that.
She planted it.
And that's amazing.
But what I'm saying is you're right. You can't always do that. My mom found her way that worked for her. That's an aside. That's a whole other story.
Yes, if we can get the man to leave, then yes, obviously that's ideal.
But what I'm saying
if that's not the case.
But what I'm saying is not everyone is okay with saying go.
Right, let me figure it out.
Not everyone is okay with, I'm just going to run and figure it out later.
You're right.
Some people can't deal with that.
You're right.
People aren't prepared for that.
Kids. Yeah, you're right.
Especially if you're not in the mental state to be who you are, to be you, to be able to make a decision for your kids. I would be terrified. I'm not a mother. I'm not a single mother.
You're a motherfucker.
I'm a motherfucker. I'm a reformed motherfucker.
True that.
But
no, you're right. You're right. Not
everyone is in the position to say I'm going to run. I have this. I'm going to run. Some people need that. Some people need to be I have
where
a plan.
Am I going to land?
I need a place
to
go. If you have the family, find that out. And that's where I'm coming from. I am so lucky that I had a mother who was too fucking tough to be amazing. Fucking bothered.
She really is amazing.
But that makes me lucky.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
That makes me lucky.
I hear you.
Because she dealt with shit. She has nobody here. Or had, at that point, nobody here.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I am lucky. But to the moms who aren't lucky, to the moms who
Don't
are
have the
wondering
vehicle
whether or
to
not
sleep
I'm going to
in,
be
don't
around to
have
say
the
I have
aunt or
kids the next
sister or
day.
mom. Yeah,
right.
yeah, you're
Like,
right. You're right.
where are you going? Yes, there are women's shelters. I 100% agree with you. But do you know that? Do you know that there's a shelter for you? Do you know that you can arrange for beds for you and your children? Do you know who to call, where to find it?
Yeah, okay. I agree with you, Beth. I do. I was taking it from a personal standpoint where I'm tucktailing and fucking running,
And
whether I got a car, whether I got a family member, whether I got anybody, because I know me, I'm going to figure it out.
You're not
But you're
wrong.
100% right that there's people that I need to know where I'm landing before I jump.
I need to know
and you're
what's
totally
happening.
right for that.
Because imagine, like, think about us right now, the anxiety of not knowing what's coming in any respect of our lives. Now, an anxiety of not knowing what's coming from me and my children, I would shit myself.
Oh, it's so...
I would shit myself.
Nothing in this planet worse than that.
But I also understand, like, I'd rather have nothing than have you.
I'd rather, yeah.
I understand that.
I'm sleeping in the woods before I show my children.
Not the situation, but yeah.
Of staying.
We will cover with leaves instead of listening to your fucking
and that's where I was
bullshit.
coming from.
I understand that.
But you're totally right that not everybody's going to dive. There's so much more to it. There's finances.
There's so many assets.
I don't have a single family member. So yeah, you're right. So I think that's probably our answers. Where you should focus on first is your resources. Are you able to just tuck tail and run? Do you have somewhere else to stay? Are you able to make him leave and you and the children get to stay? Like,
and can you afford that?
Right.
There's so many. This is just too. This is so sensitive for me to give you a definitive answer.
Right. Because as my best friend, you would know that you would have no hesitation being like,
you're tucking and running. And I know my mom, and I've said this on our podcast before, is grabbing a baseball bat.
Right. Make him fucking tuck and run.
Yeah. But not literally like grabbing a baseball bat. I'm not just, it's not a metaphor. This isn't, I'm not faking shit. This is two boyfriends. And it was my baseball bat because I'm so athletic.
I was going to say, that was a gift because he didn't buy it.
I found it in the park. No one even bought that for me. So like, it's so hard for me to come at it just knowing. And I think that's what puts me in the position
but I also need to, mothers, we fucking figure it out.
I know. And I agree with you. It's having that confidence or the position to be able to figure it out. That's a big difference. Do you have it? Do you have that confidence in yourself? I think you have it in you. Right. I will tell you, as a mother, you will lift a car off your child.
Literally, it's on the news.
I know. I'm sorry. As a mother who cares about her children, let's be real. This is 2023.
That's fair.
Okay. I know you have it in you. Shorty's fucking nodding her head right now. Like,
I know. And Shorty's not even a mother. She's an auntie.
I know.
And Shorty would lift cars off of motherfuckers. Shorty would throw cars at motherfuckers.
But like, I understand. Like, if you're a mother who cares about your child, you do have it in you. It's whether or not you know you have it.
Whether or not, yeah.
That's important.
You're right.
That's important. Whether you have that confidence, you need to know what resources are out there for you otherwise. Do you have family? Do you have a shelter? Do you have this? A, B, C, D. Go through the alphabet, my friend. Right. Go beyond that.
And there is, if you just Google online, there is so many resources that can give you legal advice.
Everything.
That can give you personal.
The gamut.
They can, tell you, if you don't have family members or friends or whatever to run to, there's all kinds of women's shelters. Yep. And just, so if you don't have somebody that I know tomorrow, if I called my best friend or my mom or my sister or my cousin, I can just show up.
I have somewhere to go.
Then, there is resources.
Yeah.
So I think that should be their focus, is your resources right now.
I agree. Otherwise,
either how they can leave or you can leave with the children.
Right.
And then figure that rest out.
Yes.
After you're landed.
If you have those resources, in my experience, is people don't offer you what they don't want to or have to offer to you. You know what I mean? Take it. Take the steps necessary to better you and to better your children, to better your family, your future. And I understand. It's not easy to just say, like, I'm done and walk away in a relationship, period. You were alluding to this earlier. You know, it's not.
Right.
But right now it's about priorities. And your kids are number one.
Yeah, and also she sounds like she's ready to go.
She's ready to go.
So that's her focus, is her resources.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see what
please.
the answer is. I want to hug you because OMFG, your husband is a monster.
Amen.
And you know this. I want you to get you and your children out of there. There is so much to sift through in your email, so let's start at the beginning. He slept with your mother while you were pregnant, nonetheless.
Oh, we didn't even touch that. But that speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's like the lesser of two evils.
Literally. Right now we're focused on you taking care of you.
Had this been the only infraction, maybe there would be a way to salvage things despite this colossal lapse in judgment on both of their parts. A couple of things strike me here. First, I am happy to hear that you're seeking the help of a therapist and or a psychologist to deal with this. As you prepare for your next steps, you need to get back in therapy ASAP. To clarify, not couples therapy, because this is not a safe home for you or your children.
Amen.
Next, you should, quote, somehow we ended up back together because my husband is a manipulative, narcissistic weirdo, to be honest, and I'm very forgiving and a caring person, unquote. My gut says that given that your mother has also trampled an enormous boundary by sleeping with your husband, you were drawn to him because he was familiar. I would bet your mother has some of the same personality traits and behavior as your husband. I didn't even go there.
But we were too busy focusing on the writer.
Right. This is something you should parse with a therapist. Most importantly, this struck to me, quote, my intuition and my 2-year-old daughter's dreams were proven right, unquote. I have so many alarm bells going off that your daughter witnessed something or was purposefully exposed to something. And I will get to more on this later, but let's move on to the next part of your email. Your husband has continued to cheat without concern for you or your family, and now you suspect he is having sex with his adult daughter. When I got to the sentence, I literally almost fell out of my chair. Quote, she has also slept with her own mother, ... unquote. What? Okay, deep breath. If you've been reading the column for a while, you might know I was a heroin addict. I struggled with addiction for more than 15 years until my late 20s. I was also sexually abused as a child, albeit not by a family member, and the trauma fueled my desire to eviscerate myself. Oh no. In my 20 years of sustained recovery, every or nearly every female identifying heroin addict I know experienced some form of sexual abuse, assault, or rape. I say this because it is important to note regarding your stepdaughter. Your husband and his ex groomed your stepdaughter for this abuse. First by her mother, and now it seems by her father. I'd call his behavior, as a layperson, not a licensed therapist or doctor, pathological. Please remember this as you evaluate your stepdaughter and her behavior. She is just at the age when the brain leaves adolescence, and yet she is likely seriously emotionally stunted, considering her history of abuse and addiction. You mentioned that she likes to see people suffer. Is that true? Or is she projecting what sounds like years of abuse at the hands of both her parents? Even if she is in a quote unquote consensual sexual relationship with her father, she is a victim here and not the co-perpetrator.
That answers your question.
Hurt people hurt people. And that sounds like what you may have witnessed with her behavior. How enraged at the world would you be in her shoes? As much as you want to divert some of the anger toward her and her sexual behavior, please think of what she has been through. Tap into the empathy and forgiveness you have given your very undeserving husband and grant that to her. Now, let's look at what is currently happening. What your husband has been doing to you is rape. Waking up to non-consensual sex with a man you have no intimacy with, when you are awake is rape. Full stop.
Yep.
I assume you have already done this. As you mentioned, you had an appointment, but please get tested. Second, get whatever evidence you had recorded about conversations, dates of when the rapes occurred, etc., in preparation for reporting this and or using it to protect your children. You asked what you could do legally. There is nothing you can do about his sexual activity with other adults, but rape is illegal. Exposing your children, parentheses, see my above comment about your daughter's dream, on parentheses.
Closed parentheses.
May be unlawful if done intentionally, although hard to prove. What all of this behavior, especially raping you and engaging in sexual activity with at least one of his children, can do is provide grounds for a restraining order and or supervised visits with your children.
And
you need to speak with a family law attorney immediately.
Yes.
Your children are endangered. If there are any close friends or family members you can stay with, you need to do that. This is wholly unsafe environment for your children. I implore you to leave. This will only get worse. What you should be focusing on right now is a plan to leave and protect your children. I would sleep in a locked room with my kids until we left. Then, when you are in a safe place, getting therapy to process this trauma is imperative because what you have been through is traumatic. The only words I have for your husband are this: fuck off.
Fuck off.
Oh. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That was a long one, but it was much needed.
That was beautiful. So you didn't read the whole thing, you just read sections of it? Or
I pretty much read the whole thing.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I guess we just didn't go down that route, but like, if he's doing it with his 27-year-old daughter, you have reason to believe that he might be doing it with his kids.
That your children are in harm.
Yeah, that's nuts.
This whole fucking thing was nuts.
That's insane.
And kudos to you.
Kudos for getting to a place where you're like, enough is enough.
I feel like this is relevant to women, and especially moms, and like, don't even get me started down the legal route. We're just gonna go to the next question.
I think that's a smart idea.
Good. All right, so we're switching things up.
Shorty, you have your own issue.
I do.
Ask the BiFFs.
So I have a question. What are the odds of your ex-boyfriend becoming, or I should say dating, a girl that works with you on a different shift that you see on the same unit?
Are you friends?
No.
But you're very much aware of each other.
She's just a person that I work with.
She's a consequence of life.
Yeah, man.
That's
She's
rough.
nice. She's nice.
I'm just trying to support my friend.
I know I'm better.
Avi, we're very biased here.
Yep.
Without using names, is this your most recent ex? Is this a... Okay. Oh.
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. You listen to fuck your bitch.
Okay, so this is your most recent ex.
Yes.
And this is a girl you very obviously know, whether you're friends or not, you're very familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All of this is important.
Yeah.
Go on, Shorty.
However...
Oh, just kidding. Don't go
real
on, Shorty.
quick, since you said that you and this girl are not friends, even though you're very familiar with each other, do you believe, know, or think that she's familiar that this person is your ex?
I believe so.
Okay.
And I put
that
a
changes
change to it earlier today, but I believe so.
You put a change to it earlier.
Well, yeah, social media, it tells you everything. So I know.
So is this girl like on one of your Facebook?
No, we're not friends at all. No,
so
she
then,
works 7 to 3. I work 11 to 7, but I basically see her every single day that I leave.
But how would she know that your most recent ex is your ex?
So because they're Facebook friends, and I posted some things.
Previously she was friends with your. Who's now your ex?
I don't know if they were previously friends or if it is new. But honestly, I think there's something to it just because he's not from around this area. Mm-hmm. He's from Springfield. I feel like it's a dig towards me just because I broke up with him.
This is a super recent breakup, we need to add.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
you're right.
Like weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, like past like month and a half.
When did you find out he's dating your coworker?
Last night before I went to work.
Oh,
sorry.
So this is
before
a real
you went
question.
to work, like you were about to walk into work and maybe encounter her face.
No, like
how did you
set
find
my
out?
alarm, and I set my alarm for 10 p.m. and I don't get out of bed right away. I usually
Shorty
scroll on
works
my
the
Facebook. I scrolled
night
on my
shift.
Facebook and I seen her name saying out for a bike ride with the boyfriend.
With
and then
his name tagged.
Yes.
So you and this girl are Facebook friends?
No.
No.
Okay, so you're
And
still friends.
him,
You're
we
still
were,
friends
but
with him.
No, not no more. I mean, I feel like, it's like a dig to me and like he's trying to get me upset and maybe respond, but I'm not, I don't want to respond towards that. Like, I'm happy for him. I hope he's happy. But at the same time, I feel like that's kind of dirty. Like, what are the odds, especially from him not being around this area and to this girl that I work with on my unit in the hospital.
Right. So my personal question to you is, how did you and him meet? Did you and him meet online on some sort of online platform?
No. So we met at a friend's wedding and then he got a hold of me online through Facebook.
You met in person and then he found you on Facebook.
Wait,
Correct.
Shorty, the old-fashioned way?
He asked me to dance. Yeah, he was a genuine, nice person. I was at my friend's wedding. He asked me to dance.
My dilemma here, how did he find this coworker? If you and her aren't friends on Facebook,
Right.
how did he find this coworker
I'm
that
actually
just so
trying-
happened to be in your unit?
So
I'm trying to
that's
make
what I'm
this
saying.
connection myself because
I told him
that
what
matters.
unit I worked on and what I am. We were pretty close at one point.
So do you feel like he Googled Shorty's unit and found...
No,
you know what I mean?
not
What is
per
making
se.
you feel...
Not per se.
I definitely get this is super ironic and like super weird. And if I was you, I would be like, what the fuck? Like, what are the odds? What are the chances? I'm with you.
Well, the thing that
Just
gets
from
me,
outside perspective,
Yeah.
you and her weren't friends on social media.
Mm-hmm.
He's doesn't work, you know what I mean? He doesn't work with you. You work overnights. How is he supposed to know who people you work with are? Like these types of things. So like,
when it comes to social media, it's really not that hard to find out about people. I learned that when I started working.
I know,
in
but
prison.
you and this girl aren't even friends. So
No,
how is
but
he
you
to
can
know?
You can Google things. And I honestly don't know. That's the thing that I'm questioning is whether they were friends before or now. So that's what I'm contemplating on. But like, what are the odds? Because he's not from around this area.
Well, that's why I asked how you and him met. Because if you and him had met on some sort of social media platform, it is more likely that he may have met other people in your area.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we need to take a step back because we're coming at it from the best friend part of it, right? We're coming at it.
I'm asking real questions.
Well, you are asking real questions, but questions you would ask anyway. First of all,
right. Whether she's my friend or not.
You're asking real questions you would ask anyway. But I think I just need a full picture. We're jumping in and asking these questions in the middle of the story, and I need to hear the story for me to answer. So I understand that there are things that we need to know about, but like, who are you? I understand just from kind of like the preface that you gave us that there's somebody that you agree with or don't agree with in terms of whether or not this is wrong. So let's go from that angle. Let's just kind of hear out the story.
I think the question was not so much as if this is right or wrong, but so much or what are the chances? Is this set up?
Well, I just want to hear the story. I still don't know it because we're just interrupting with questions. And I want to know, like, I'm still kind of lost. I need to know, like, the context of it. And I feel like I don't have that. Like, yes, you dated this guy who's dating somebody who's on this unit, and I have a million questions, and you have a million questions, and your questions to my questions are the same fucking questions, apparently.
About it.
But, like, where are you? Like, give us the sequence of events here.
Okay.
So now you're in a position where you work with this girl, this guy that you were dating.
Broke up with a week or a month ago?
6 weeks ago. Right. Or yesterday, because May was yesterday. in so many words.
Yeah.
But like, you broke up with this guy. Now he's dating this girl who is, quote unquote, his girlfriend that you work with that you're not friends with. Right? Mm-hmm. Is
on
that
Facebook,
correct so far?
Correct.
So
and
you
then
just
she's seen
your
on
acquaintances.
his Facebook.
Just someone I say hi to bye to, because she works 7 to 3. I work 11 to 7.
Okay.
So typically by the time I leave work, she's there working. She's
fucking
a CNA.
bitch.
Get that hoe.
But I'm not mad at her or anything. I'm not. I'm actually it's just, I'm not
you
mad.
feel like he kind of went out of his way?
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like it was like a dig towards me to try to get me to kind of react. But to me, I'm not going to. But I'm questioning, like, why the fuck or what the fuck happened.
And that's what I'm trying to piece together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is if she's not on your Facebook, and it's kind of I don't want to say reach, but it kind of is a reach to like
a tiny stretch.
To assume that.
Yeah. But my brain works the same way your brain works.
Yeah.
So it's fuck him and fuck that bitch. And he did this shit on purpose.
Right.
Right? I'm with you. I'm tracking.
So the reason why I'm saying this is because of my past experience with this kid that I dated actually a couple years ago. And he got a hold of me through Facebook. And he actually went out with one of my, what should I say? One of the girls that I went to school with. I went to school with her. She was in like one of my clinicals. So I didn't really know her. So he did it intentionally.
He went out of his way to find somebody that you are in some way, shape, or form connected to.
Right. Okay. Only by school. Otherwise, like, we weren't friends or anything like that.
On Facebook, were you and her friends?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a little bit easier to follow and to find.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked if you and the coworker now are friends on Facebook.
Yeah, no one.
Because that's, I feel like for me on the outside, because as I said, my brain works the same way your brain works, and I would be feeling the same way you're feeling.
Yeah.
However, being on the outside, I feel like that's a little bit more, you're giving him way more credit than I feel he deserves.
Okay, thank you for saying that, because like, I agree with you. I feel
he's
like
gonna go find a whole bunch of people that
or a hole
somehow right? Like she's not
men are trash, Shorty.
I know, no, they really are. But I really thought he was the better one of them.
If he did find, this girl's profile, obviously, I'm assuming would say something along the lines of nursing, and she may or may not be from where you're from. So that is kind of like, hey, this girl's the same town.
I creeped her.
I
did creep her.
Did it say the same town? And same occupation.
Works at the hospital on as a CNA. It doesn't specifically say what unit.
So he may or may not know that you know who she is. Right. He just knows that it's the same town, same occupation, same.
Yeah.
So along those lines,
that's what I'm assuming, but I don't know. Honestly, it could be me just like overthinking things. But I do have a history of overthinking things, and I was right.
Shorty, you're in good fucking.
I have really good fucking intuition.
You're in good company.
As crazy as
So let me put this out here. Do you really think he went out of his way to look on Facebook?
Do you think he's intelligent enough?
That's even better.
I wouldn't say intelligent enough, but I feel like in a way he may have
indirectly. Like, oh wow.
Only because.
So do you think he just like went on some spree on Facebook?
Anything. Honestly, it could be
Googled
anything.
Your town.
But I think that's important for you to sit here and say it could be anything. What is your intuition really telling you?
that he was trying to dig at me, but it's not going to affect me.
So
only because I broke his heart. And I didn't intentionally want to do that.
Okay.
I feel he feels like I ghosted him.
Let me step back.
Okay.
By you saying like he's trying to take a dig at me and it's not going to affect me.
Shorty's
Welcome
intuition.
to the podcast. You are in fact reacting to that. There is a dig there that you are feeling. And I think that whether or not you're feeling that because you want to talk about it or you're feeling it because you are feeling it.
Shorty's intuition and Shorty's
reaction.
Shorty's brain and Shorty's heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
No, it's fucking never a lot.
Go fuck yourself.
First of all,
go fuck yourself because you are not a lot.
Thank you.
It is a lot.
Who the fuck?
Not a lot. Who the fuck? It's not a lot.
Shorty, if you're a lot, I'm a fucking mountain.
Listen, I wouldn't exist.
And she's a fucking whole mountain
a
range.
Lot and he's a mountain. I'm just not.
Hello, Earth.
We're just in outer space. Okay?
Fuck this. We're a super Earth.
So you have super valid and like big, huge reasons to feel the way you feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, just being on the outside, and I fucking will kill.
No.
People
this is
for
why
you.
I wanted to bring it up. To see.
Literally will kill for you.
Mm-hmm.
Our heads and our hearts aren't always aligned
on the same page.
And so it's not always our intuition.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just our brain.
Yeah.
And I don't want to in any way, shape, or form downplay your intuition, your rights. Mm-hmm. But it's just so much easier for us to, I'm never wrong about these things. I've had boyfriends that cheated before.
Shorty, we do it all the time. We do it all the time.
Right. This is absolutely not personal.
This isn't a you thing. This is a human thing, I feel like.
Absolutely human
thing. Because me and you do this all the time.
I've seen this before. This is the same, it looked the exact same way.
This pattern fits this pattern.
So that's not always our intuition.
Yeah.
That's not always our spirits or our guts or our souls or whatever you refer to it as. It's not always that. That's our brain. Our brain is like,
justifying.
Safety. Yep. We've seen this before. This has happened before. This is what it is.
So I do want to say
our spirit and our guts and our whatever you want to. I call it my spirit, my intuition. Yeah. That's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. That's like my brain's not.
Your intuition.
My spirit is just like, no, something's wrong. Something's off. And my brain may not even be aware of that.
Yeah.
It's so much easier for us to be like, I've seen this before. I've witnessed this before. I've experienced this before.
In every other way, he did seem like he was good as a person, but he was just fucking.
Well, that's why I asked if you were giving him that amount of credit where he could go and find somebody, and not only just find somebody that's somehow connected to you, but like get them to go on a date with him, go out with him. Like,
so.
Is he worthy of that credit?
It's a lot of factors, honestly. Is
he worthy of that credit?
Let me rephrase.
Okay,
maybe.
That's fair.
Let me rephrase. Fair. Do you think he actually went out of his way, and why?
Yes, I do. So I broke up with him in May. I felt terrible, but I didn't want to break his heart. And, we were on like different paths in lives, and like, we just weren't meant for each other. Otherwise, he was like so perfect. Like he was so good to me. He was sweet.
Yeah, and I mean, he won me over a little bit. I'm not going to lie. He did when he was here.
And he like, he looks out for me and everything.
He done good. He took you out to the car, which I've never been able to do.
You're not helping Beth.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I'm
validating her feelings where it's just like, like whether or not he was good or bad, like maybe he fooled me, maybe he didn't, but like I really thought that like he was good for you.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what happened behind closed doors.
So I broke up with him, and then I found out
that was behind closed doors.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
So he cooked for me and everything. It was fine, and I was texting him like every day, and I'm like, "Oh, how's it going? Like, how's your day?" But I was the one that was always texting. Like he never texted me first. I was the one that was texting.
Really?
And then I found out that he only 2 days after I broke up with him, he had his ex-fiance at his house with a cookout. To me, you're not going to start talking to your fiance. 2 days
after you broke up with him?
Yes. You're not going to start talking to your fiance, ex-fiance. Yeah. I feel like it was because he knew it was coming.
This is a twist to the story.
That's why I felt like maybe there's like something else going on. He did speak to some of his exes because he wanted to, like, they had like a dog together and all that. It just
sounds like he might be the type that's just constantly with someone.
Yeah, like he's not comfortable. I can't be alone.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. It's very possible. It could also just be
you like also
a momentary situation.
But you also did mention that he's very emotionally immature.
Yeah.
Right? And that plays a huge part.
It does.
Well, we all find what we need, right? Whether we're emotionally immature or not, whether we're stunted or not, let me be more clear. You know, we'll always find what we need in that time, or we look for what we need in that time. Whether we're looking for love or the person of the minute, or we're looking for someone who's just going to entertain us for 2 seconds because,
Lord that's what knows, I mean. If he's somebody that's just always in the next, in the next, in the next, and that's what I'm it could be sheer coincidence that he just happened to find another nurse.
Well, what I'm saying is that just
you're in at the same place you're in.
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be, but like, what are the odds? But, and I will look up shit.
But maybe her and him weren't friends when you and him were together.
Well, maybe they were. So that's the thing. So I deleted him as a friend, and I creeped on his Facebook, and I found like posts that I posted that were made to the public.
Right.
So but anybody that's not his friend.
But you have a very private profile.
Like mine.
For the most part, yeah.
So if you tag and you're on other people's things, they're not necessarily going to see them.
No, I'm pretty sure they are. Because when I deleted him, I seen it.
It actually depends on the other person tagging and what your preferences are. So if your preferences are that you're not even friends of friends can see your posts, it's all on you.
So, I don't know that. I don't know that.
Can I give you my takeaway?
Okay.
Unbiased. As a guy.
Yeah.
A gay guy, nonetheless, but as a guy. Whatever happens after you break up with me is none of your business.
That's true.
It's none of your business. You can think what you want to think, but that's really on you. And you're allowing that power to come in. I'm going to have what I need to have in my life to get over this, whether it's another person under me, on top of me, beside me, if they want to be part of what's going on. You broke up with me. That was your choice. My choice is to deal with this the way that I choose to deal with it. If he's going out of his way to harm you and you can show that, absolutely 100%. Call a motherfucker out. But if he's just living his life and he happens to, and you can't find a direct correlation because from what I hear.
And also if he's one of the guys that always needs a relationship. Next.
Absolutely. And you can't find that correlation. It's literally just happening because it's happening and that's okay. You're not friends with this girl. It doesn't matter. Worry about me and Stephanie.
Does this make you regret breaking up with him at all?
No.
So
you
just kind of
you just some things I do,
you miss
but
him
a lot of things I don't.
Or the attention?
Are you just
not really the attention?
Men are trash.
Are you just hurt that he moved on quickly?
Well, I figured he would. Honestly, I figured he would.
So he's that type of guy.
Fast because when we were dating, like within 2 weeks, he wanted me to tell him that I loved him. I'm like, no way, I'm not ready for that.
Okay.
And he moved really, really fast. I'm like, no. So I tried to move things slower.
So you're not shocked that he's already dating someone new?
No, I'm not. No.
If he did intentionally go out of his way to hurt you because you broke up with him, so now he wants you to feel how he felt when you broke up, that is not a reflection of you. That's just screaming his emotional immaturity.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make your worth less because he couldn't see that you're worth me not hurting this person in this way. That's not about you. That's about him. So I think that's probably the bigger question that maybe you could benefit from asking yourself versus what are the odds that he intentionally or coincidentally found somebody in some way connected to you. So
I know.
You the best.
I think at the end of the day, we can all agree, Shorty, just grieve it. and
whatever you feel
let
is
yourself
okay.
grieve
Yeah.
any
You know,
way
I
that
was
you
fine
feel.
though, honestly.
So-
It's not like what he did or anything. It's just like me, like it's my own insecurities.
Which insecurity? That was my question. Was what did that really bring out for you?
I don't know, like
Not the fact that he found some girl that you're some way connected to, but what did that really bring
Biff,
out
let me
for
ask you, do you think it's an insecurity?
It's triggering something for sure.
You think so?
My
Because sometimes I'm
personal-
like in general in these types of situations, I've always found myself feeling guilty just for breaking up with someone. Like, you know, my relationship before Colin, when I broke up with someone, it was a big guilt trip for me. So like, you know, it didn't trigger anything specific, but it was definitely an emotion where I was like, I feel so guilty I feel like I led this person on, even though I know what the truth of this situation was.
That's what I felt.
You know what I mean? Like, I know the truth of the situation. I knew I wasn't leading this person on. I knew I tried everything I could and made them very well aware, but I couldn't help what I felt afterwards. So is it a traumatic response or?
Well, when they moved on after this, after your initial feeling of guilt or remorse or whatever it was when you broke up with them, and then they moved on to a new relationship, did that still resonate for you? That feeling of guilt or whatever it was that you broke up with them?
No, it was relief for me.
So I think Shorty's
I was
a
like,
little
bye.
bit different.
Okay, all right. Okay, I see what you're saying there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think for Shorty's, it's probably bringing up something where it's like she might be telling herself that, you know, she should be worth more than him disrespecting her in the way that he's disrespecting her. So for her internal dialogue may be, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like in this situation, your internal dialogue is not necessarily the coincidence of him doing these things, but that you should be worth more than him doing this to you. And because he is doing this to you, your worth isn't where you think he should see it
thought
as.
it was, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shorty, you are worthy of
No fucking shit.
so fucking much.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, it's really, I don't know. I just never been in relationships. I'm not good at relationships, like feelings and all that. I tried with this one, but it just didn't work out.
And that's not a reflection of you or your worth. And also, if you knew he was emotionally immature, what he's doing after you break up with him and he would do this with anyone and everyone, not you.
It is not a measure of you.
It's
period.
your worth, right? It's just who he is. That's his level of emotional maturity or immaturity.
He's a man.
He's a
He's
child.
a man. He's a man.
He's a child.
He is a man. He is a.
Is that French?
Fucking dog.
Is that French for man?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think to get to the bottom of it, your question of, or you're saying like, I'm right, I'm wrong, she's wrong, I'm right, really boils down to you don't need justification to feel how you feel. Let yourself feel what you're feeling.
I think you need to out loud say, like, this isn't a fucking reflection of my worth. This is him. And this is a reflection of where he's at. And you want no parts of somebody like that.
I think Stephanie just said he's a little bitch.
Yeah,
He's
no,
a little
I do
fucking
agree.
He's a little bitch.
He's a little fucking bitch. And you want no parts of somebody like that.
Because he's a
Yeah.
man.
Then it got nothing to do with you.
He's a straight
Because
man.
he would do it to you. He would do it to the next one. He would do it to the one before you. And it got nothing to do with you or your worth.
Yeah,
Not to mention, you're a fucking bad
you're a
bitch.
force.
Shorty.
You're a force, and he knows that. He ain't trying to fuck with you. He didn't go out of his way.
Also, if you just
Relate to that.
want to run off and we'll throw dicks to the wind and just be together.
I'm not trying to get hit by no dicks.
Well, you better stay in your home.
It's a hurricane out here. It's Hurricane
wives.
Richard. Everybody run.
Hide your daughters, hide your wives. How does it go?
This was a really very good, very raw, very real emotional conversation.
Absolutely. This was truly best friends chit-chatting.
It was.
Yes, it was.
Disagreements and all.
Yes, it was.
Disagreements and all.
Yeah,
Shorty,
I
thank you.
appreciate all.
Thank you for being so raw with us.
Literally.
Literally. You know, dicks the wind and all.
Yeah.
That was like speaking of dicks.
She's like, my standing outside with my mouth open wide. Duck, here's a duck. Here's a duck. Here's a duck. Oh, to our listeners, you guys are fantastic. You're wonderful. Everything about you is wonderful. You can send us your questions, your comments, and all your concerns at illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com or catch up on all of our episodes at illadvisedthepodcast.com.
Or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at illadvisedthepodcast.
You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Everything about you is sexy. And what Shorty says goes.
Don't let that man determine your worth.
Men are trash. And thank you for listening.
You've been ill-advised.